Hello, everybody. It's the coach.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. They'll run on first down. Posey. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Kaiser completes it to Lee. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
With DeAndre Hopkins, I think anyone who's calling plays for him has 0 limitations. And what I mean by that is he's a guy you can move outside, you can move him inside, play him on the left side, on the right side. It doesn't matter. Some guys, they have to have the ball in a certain spot. Not Hopkins. Long, short, intermediate. He just wants the football. And then after that, he usually does some pretty good damage with run after catch.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. This is Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
And that's a run that will energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Myles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Myles Jack there to make the tackle. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Watson. That one complete to Okoye. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 yards there, first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
To throw is Kaiser. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
On second down, it's Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
At the 36-yard line.
40 After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Jaguars nothing.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Kaiser making his way out to the huddle. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it.
Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On first down, Posey, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of 2 there, second down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack. Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. Off the play fake, Kaiser staying on his feet. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Mario Edwards flies in to blow that play up. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. And connecting here with DJ Shark. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage. Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so. The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out. Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. On 1st down, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And it's 17-7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the 31, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open. But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's Jones. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. A good passing down here. They send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on second down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now pass there, complete to Westbrook. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Kaiser from the gun on third. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Kaiser yet again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Throwing on second and long. Kaiser under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. Fights him off. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the gun, here's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
I got him, back to mine, I got him. Mike's 50.
To the air yet again, Watson. A man over the middle, and it's complete. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Watson now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. Again, it's Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go, 50. Mike 50. Here we go.
Throwing again is Watson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Johnson was the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Watson looks to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kiki QT in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans push further out in front.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Kaiser now. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. So we reach halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
It's just me and you.
On 2nd and 9, Kaiser, and his throw is incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and now it's 3rd down. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
Here's Kaiser. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Hey, watch the flag.
Back to the air. Watson on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. That'll be caught by Cup. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. The quick slant caught. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
But they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. 2nd down and goal. Watson, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And a short return to the 6-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Kaiser, open his Swaim, the tight end. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Zach Cunningham in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. To To throw is Watson, operating from the gun, being chased out left. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Watson. And he slings one that's incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. From the gun, Watson, and got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Kahale Waring, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdowns.
Kahale Waring. Touchdown, Texans.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department. And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Kaiser now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Kaiser. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
To try again after the sack. Kaiser. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
That was a nicely run slant route. And what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The open man is Westbrook. Now we're going to get a stoppage as that looks to be Kaiser who's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw again. Sellers. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Sellers. The open man is Shark. It's complete. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12. Throwing on 1st down. Sellers. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 4 receivers in the formation here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. His throw incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back to throw. Sellers. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. that's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the...
It got his man, complete, 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ballgame as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Sellers. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll run on 1st down. Posey. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll keep it on the ground. Posey trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A gain of